Now just remember, students, always do your reading.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to another exciting edition of Today in History. As you all know, here's the star of our show, Mr. Lavin.
Hi. Okay, for Today in History. In 1966, the Washington Redskins and the New York Giants played a pro football game that resulted in the most points ever being scored in a game, 113. Washington defeated the Giants 72-41. On this day in 1973, Vice President nominee Gerald Ford was approved by the U.S. Senate by a vote of 92-3 to replace former Vice President Spiro Agnew, who had recently resigned. Within a year, Ford would become president when Richard Nixon resigned in the wake of the Watergate scandal. Ford was the only person to ever be president, not previously elected vice president or president.
And now it's time for the answer to last week's history mystery.
Well, if you remember last week, the question was, in 1962, this person lost an election and at the end of the election night made a bold statement to the press about how they would never have him to bash around anymore. And the question was, who was this candidate who lost? Was it Ronald Reagan? Was it Lyndon Johnson? Or was it Richard Nixon? And the answer is, it was Richard Nixon, who told the press they would not have him to kick around anymore. 6 years later, he was elected president. Okay. The history mystery this week is that on this date in 1924, New Yorkers witnessed the first of one of these. Was it A, a live color television broadcast? Was it B, the first hot dog eating competition? Or C, was it the first Macy's Thanksgiving parade?
That's a pretty good one, I'd say. Well, make sure to check back next week for the answer to that history mystery and more fascinating information. Thank you.
Do your reading. Happy Thanksgiving.